Voters in the Falkland Islands elect members to the Legislative Assembly once every 4 years. It's a system of block voting. Voters in Stanley have 5 votes each, and those in Camp have 3, to reflect the amount of MLAs who will be voted in for each constituency. Over the years, there have been discussions on whether or not to switch to a single constituency format, but these have not been supported by referendum, so the constituencies remain as Stanley and Camp, and these are defined by a 3.5-mile radius from the spire of the Christchurch Cathedral. Anyone living within the 3.5-mile circle can vote in Stanley, and anyone living outside can vote for Camp.
Technically, effectively, we've got 2 elections that are running. We've got the election running for Stanley and the election running for Camp, although it's obviously a largely combined activity. And where you principally live is generally where you would register to vote. You have to be resident in that constituency.
The last census in 2016 revealed that there were 2,201 adults in the islands, and for the 2021 general election there are 1,356 voters registered in Stanley and 254 in Camp. With a disparity of how many can vote in this election, it does raise the question: who will be voting in the next members of the Legislative Assembly?
You have to be a British citizen, generally speaking, and also to have Falkland Islands status. You have to be 18, and then there are a number of things that disqualify people from voting. Every country sets its own rules, and those are the rules that have been agreed for the Falkland Islands, so British citizens who've got Falkland Island status. If you contrast that with the position in the UK, for parliamentary elections, again, you either have to be British or at certain qualifying Commonwealth countries, but a whole range of other people who live and work in Britain can't vote in parliamentary elections. Each country sets their own rules that are right for that place.
Despite the numbers of who is able to vote in the islands, turnouts in general elections and the occasional referendum are historically high. The last election in 2017 saw turnouts of over 80% in both constituencies, and the 2013 referendum on sovereignty saw over 90% of voters heading to the ballot box. There is a high engagement from the public in the democratic proceedings of the islands. And the rules surrounding the election are set out in the constitution and ordinances of the islands. However, these are not immovable objects.
So the constitution is set out in a document that is actually an order in council made in the UK. But the local administration here, the local government here, it has obviously a significant input in what that constitution says. So there was a review underway under the recently dissolved Assembly of the Constitution, and the new elected members may wish to continue to do that. And if there were any proposals for change, then they would definitely be considered.
By the end of Thursday night, we will know the 8 people who will be representing our islands over the next 4 years. And of course, the issues of voting eligibility and whether to continue the constitutional review is something that could be on the agenda. It will be up to the new occupants of this office. Whether the system is the same in 4 years' time, we'll have to wait and see.